In Group D, FIBA presents the U17 Women's Basketball World Cup from Brno, Czechia. Today, the final group game between Canada and New Zealand. Well, hello everybody, and a very pleasant good day to you wherever you may be. This is Aaron Sanders, and I'm glad to be on the call for the final group game in Group D with two teams undefeated. But that will all change in the next 40 minutes of action. Here's a look at the schedule so far. Spain doubling up against China, USA topping Latvia, and Japan defeating the host team Czechia, and which one of these teams will play against in the round of 16 tomorrow. And here are the standings in Group D. The undefeated teams are going against each other. A 2-0 record, but it's Canada that has the advantage in the margin of victory of plus 35. New Zealand is a plus 26. How do we get here? Well, I'll tell you. New Zealand got here by winning their first two games, of course. They're being led currently by Amani Rasmussen, who has led with around 18 points. They defeated Egypt 79-65 in the first day of group play. They defeated Italy 68-56 behind Rasmussen's 16 points. They out-rebounded Italy 54-31, and 38 points coming from inside. And get this, off of 20 offensive rebounds they snagged down, they scored 23 second chance points. This is their fourth straight appearance in the U17 Women's World Cup, and they have placed 12th in every World Cup you could think of. But with them having a 2-0 record, that could change too. New Zealand, 20th in the world. Canada, they are filled with players that have played in FIBA competition over the last year, and there is no other player that's been better stepping up the FIBA stage than Avery Orije, who's leading the team at averaging 16.5 points per game. She is also a player of the OSBA, the Crestwood Prep player, averaging 16.5 points per game. She ended up scoring 16 in the victory against Egypt back on Sunday with a final score of 76-56. Then they defeated Italy the day before that, 69-54. And Team Canada, of course, looking to go back to the podium after getting a silver finish 2 years ago by losing to Team USA in Irapuato, Mexico. And Irapuato, Mexico is where Canada has been comfortable, and they are similar with that location, and we'll tell you why in just a moment. Canada has appeared in every U17 World Cup. They have won a medal twice. 2 years ago they won silver, and in 2012, the second ever U17 World Cup, they ended up winning bronze. And they have placed in the top 8 in 5 of those 8 World Cups, and they're looking to continue that. Again, both of these teams tied in first place with a 2-0 record. The winner will capture first place in Group D and take on Czechia, who ended up in fourth place in Group C competition. We'll step aside for both national anthems, and when we return, we'll get you caught up with all the starters and the officials for today's games. But first, the national anthems here at the FIBA U17 Women's Basketball World Cup. Both teams exchanging pleasantries. I'm Aaron Sanders on the call. Glad that you're joining us wherever you may be. We have a handful of New Zealanders and Canadians tuning in as well. A big welcome to Christine Nielsen, who's tuning in from New Zealand. Eric Z, or if you're over in Canada, Zed, cheering on Canada. He's also saying Canada should not overlook New Zealand, as USA had a tough game against Australia, and that was the slimmest margin of victory that Team USA has had in years. And a big welcome to, again, those of you tuning in, from Nick Kirstens, who is the director for the OSBA Game of the Weekend Championships. A big welcome to everyone around the world. Here's your officiating crew. From Latvia, we have Ritvars Helmsteins. From USA, Lauren Namira. And from Chile, Claudio Osorio Vargas. We also have a member tuning in from Perth, Australia, the home of the Wildcats of the NBL. Here's New Zealand's starting five. Karis Broughton, who's averaged 9 points per game, will get the start. She went 0 for 9 in the win against Italy the other day, and she's looking for a comeback. Imani Rasmussen, 15 points per game. Ava Jones also starting in the front line. Amelia Ainley will be at center, and Sienna Maurice will round up the starting five for Liam Connolly. By the way, New Zealand qualified by ending up taking the silver medal in last year's U17 Women's Asia Cup. And OSBA talent, whether as the role of the coach or players for Team Canada. And we'd be remiss if we didn't say hello to those representing the OSBA in Canada, from Anthony Bennett to the players that are tuning in to watch Team Canada. For those tuning in New Zealand, we welcome you as well. "93% of you said on the game predictor that Team Canada would win. And you could predict who would win the game and the margin of victory 5 minutes before tip-off. If you're able to do that, you get to qualify for a chance to win an official FIBA U17 women's basketball and Nike gift cards too. This will decide who will clinch first place in Group D competition and who will play against the team that ended up in fourth place in Group C, which will be Czechia in the round of 16, which gets underway tomorrow. Imani Rasmussen will tip it off with Emerald Nani, and New Zealand wins the tip. New Zealand averaging 73.5 points per game. As they get the first touch of the day, here's Ava Jones on the handoff. And here's the pull-up, and it bounces out. And it will stay with New Zealand. Incidentally, New Zealand taking home the silver medal in last year's U16 Asia Cup. They won bronze in the 2023 contest, and they took home silver last year despite a 1-2 record in group play. But here they are now battling for first place. Here's Rasmussen driving through and scoring with force. Rasmussen, the Harbor basketball player, drops 16 points in the win against Italy, 12 of them coming in the first half. And she gets the first 2 of the game, and the ball already taken away. New Zealand working on a 2-on-2 until they pull it back. Maurice going upstairs to Rasmussen. Here's the fake out from Karis Broughton, who lets it fly, and it bounces off the front. Avery Orige gets the rebound. She picks up nearly 5 of those a game as she dumps it off to Volette, who puts one up, and it's out. The Brantford native unable to hit. Here we go in the early goings of Group D competition. The final matchup in this group. Lob underneath was intended for Ainley, the center, who ended up a member of the All-Star 5 team in last year's U17 Asia Cup, averaging a double-double, 11 points and 10.5 rebounds per game, which is 3rd in that tournament overall. Team Canada ranked 3rd in the FIBA World Rankings. Coming into the U17s, here's the lob underneath. Doesn't go down, it's rejected easily. Amelia Ainley getting the rejection. Here's Rasmussen through the double team. Tries to swing it out. Maurice has a chance at it, going mano-a-mano against Orige. Underneath, Ainley, who dumps it off. And it's rejected by Emerald Nani of Edmonton, Alberta. She played for Royal Crown in the OSBA. New Zealand taking advantage of that extra pass with Rasmussen coming in from the left side. 2 minutes have gone by into this game. Broughton with 2 to shoot. She spins and fires and misses. Frances Volette on the rebound. She ended up being part of the OSBA West All-Second team this past season, playing for Niagara Prep, along with her teammate Lexi Wee, which we will see her later on in the game. Orige on the footwork, fires away, and she connects from the right side of the elbow. Well, it took 2 minutes and 25 seconds, but Team Canada gets on the board, and we're knotted up at 2. Hand off straight away to Broughton. There's 2 Broughtons on the team, by the way. Ainley having trouble, dumps it down to Rasmussen, who banks it in. The polished ball movement from New Zealand continues to shine here in the U17 Women's World Cup. New Zealand ahead 4-2. Portia Reason from Ottawa goes for the bounce pass to Orige. She cuts into the left side, dumps it down, gets it back. And now it's Portia Reason with the reason to shoot the 3, and it goes down. Portia Reason, part of the OSBA All-Second team for Fort Erie last season, gets her first triple of the game. Canada with their first lead. Rasmussen going down low. Karis Broughton taking on Orige. Ball movement continues to be fantastic as Rasmussen can't finish, but she'll head to the line to shoot 2. New Zealand, incidentally, 57% at the foul line. You compare that to Canada. Canada has the advantage at 70. And the passing is one of the key reasons why New Zealand continues to prosper down low of the basket. Their game against Italy, they had 38 points, 38 of their 68 inside. And when they box out and get those rebounds, they take advantage of it and it will make you pay. First free throw, up and out. They had 23 second chance points off of 20 offensive rebounds. That was in the game against Italy. Rasmussen, a 73% free throw shooter, gets it down. She hit 6 of 7 back on Sunday. And now New Zealand has tied it up at 5. Very close one to wrap up Group D competition. Here is Orige getting away from Karis Broughton. Now it's Volette's turn. Emerald Nani back to Orige. Now it's out to Reason, who gets her second triple. Splish, splash, cash. There is a reason why you don't leave Portia open. Canada leads 8-5. Katie Moore is in the lineup. 2 passes later, nice fake. And Avery Arige gets caught with the foul. She contained the corner. The problem is, when you're able to fake, it brings your defender up. She could create contact, and you go to the line. Arige will head out for the time being. Avery Arige, part of the U16 AmeriCup team, and as well as the All-Star 5 member. Her team's up by 3. Rebound by Nahala Toleo, and it goes in. New Zealand taking advantage of their depth. Canada with 2 team fouls in the rock. Follett and now Imrul Nani setting the screen. No PAR there as that's taken away. Numbers for New Zealand. Here comes Broughton. Over Reason and can't get it to go. Toleo on the rebound. Jump ball is called and the possession arrow will go to Canada. Well, Pippa Gibb may be taken out of the play, but great heads-up play from Grace Pongang, who checked in earlier. Follett will play it in. Here's Pippa Gibb from Raymond, Alberta. 3 assists, 2 rebounds in the win against Egypt. Follett on the run. Rebound nearly contained by Ainley. There is a foul. It might look like it's on Canada. Look at all the hands up there. We see Pongang creating contact with the hand. So Canada running out of fouls to give close to the halfway mark in the first quarter. New Zealand looking to capitalize. New Zealand, this is their 4th straight appearance in the U17s. They have placed 12th in every one of their appearances, including 2 years ago in Irapuato, Mexico. Here's the bullet pass straight to Kahura, and the teardrop is off the mark for Toleo. Rebound and a big one by Pongang. Pongang of the Louis Riel Rebels sends it out to Follett. Heartbreak city for her as that 3 rattles out of there. Back comes New Zealand and Nahala Toleo, who dumps it in to give New Zealand the lead again. They are money inside the paint today. Follett driving in left side, gets the bounce after the bump. Francis Follett just a rebound away from a double-double back on Sunday. Gets a couple more. Here's the driving finger roll. That's good for Shamar Broughton. Part of Tauranga basketball. 9th in points per game in the Asia Cup last year at 14.5. In that tournament, she scored 21 points in a single game. Reason bolting through, and it's rejected by Ainley. Here's the leave off. The 3, too strong. Rebound gathered up by Pongang. From Brno, Czechia, as Grace Pongang drives through the lane and she's met by the double team. Ainley cleans it up. 3:14 to go. Kickball called on Reason, which will stay with New Zealand. Pauline Broughton turning in from Tauranga, New Zealand. And we welcome you and many of you that are tuning in on this early Wednesday morning in New Zealand. And we welcome those of you tuning in Canada in this early afternoon, or for those of you in the Alberta region or the West Coast, hope you're enjoying things on this late morning. Here's a drive, Lexi Wee, who sends it to Follett, her teammate of Niagara Prep. That doesn't go. Ball is back tapped, and it will go back to New Zealand. Theo Javelot tuning in, who is now an MVP member of the FIBA YouTube membership. We'll explain more of that on the next break. Maurice bursting through and finds Kahura for 3. She matches her jersey number easily, and New Zealand is up by 4. New Zealand looking for first place in Group D, which would give them a huge advantage, as they have not made it out of the round of 16 in their 4 trips. There's Sinai Foye, who is checked in. Sinai Foye, I should say, of the Logan Thunder. Pippa Gibb trying to get the crossover on Kahura. Instead, it goes to Pongang. Pongang drops it down to Nani. Nani, the baby hook, off the mark. Pongang poking through for the rebound. The finish doesn't work out for Villette. Third chance, this time Nani, no. Ainley, the rebound. Maurice plays it up over to Kahura. Putter there. Arita Kahura giving Canada lots of fits off of the catch and shoot. And New Zealand with their largest lead of the game. They're ahead 17-10. Under 2 to go in the opening quarter. A good one so far. Villette with the easy finger roll. Heartbreak City for her. She wanted contact and she won't get it. Kahura driving by Wee. He's looking for Ainley, and Foye gets it back. Now it's Maurice with 10 to shoot. Ainley out of her zone. Now it's Foye. Foye fakes and rejected by Pongang. Lexi Wee immediately fouled. And that is a tough possession with Canada pulling through. The foul is committed by Madeline Eliadis. A big shout out to Marco Posada, who's celebrating a birthday today. Yeah, happy birthday to you. Team Canada behind by 7. They're down to their last foul to give in the first quarter. Here is Pippa Gibb, who misses from three-point land. Rebound by Nani. Nani swings it back up top. Jordan Noor checks in. The Langley native buries it. Jordan Noor, who just checked in, gets her first 2, and she's joined by Ashley Vandeven. New Zealand with a couple of changes on the last dead ball. Eliza Brown, Ava Jones, and Amani Ramusin checking back in for the last 50.5 seconds. Jordan Noor averages 6 points per game. She scooped up 9 against Egypt back on Sunday. New Zealand with the possession. Eliza Brown to the KC Cavaliers. Quick fake. Sends it back to Brown. Brown has to hurry. She has 2 to shoot. She goes up the gut and misses. Lexi Wee will just let it bounce out of bounds. The positioning from Eliza Brown. She was trying to shove a little bit to make sure Lexi Wee had contact with the ball so New Zealand could get it back. But New Zealand has been capitalizing on second chance opportunities. Remember, they had 23 second chance points off of 20 offensive rebounds back in their 68-58 win against Italy. Here's the fake. Vandeven doesn't get it to go. Rebound put up and in by Emerald Nani. Nani and Vandeven know each other very well in OSBA play. Ava Jones with 7 to shoot in the quarter. It's down to 3. Brown swings it over. The 3, will count if it goes. It's off the mark as the first quarter draws to a close. It is 17-14 in favor of New Zealand. New Zealand taking advantage of their depth, which leads to 10 points inside, along with 4 second chance points. The leading scorer so far for New Zealand is Amani Ramusin, who has 7, and Canada is being led by Portia Reason, whose 2 triples gives her 6. The difference is 3 as we head into the second quarter here in the FIBA U17 Women's Basketball World Cup. Both teams have exchanged blows in the first 10 minutes of action, but it's New Zealand ahead 17-14 as we're set to begin the second quarter. I'm Aaron Sanders. Thank you for joining us wherever you may be, whether if you're from Canada or New Zealand, tuning in early Wednesday morning. Nice deflection from Emerald Nani, but it will stay with New Zealand. After the first 10 minutes of play, we've seen 4 lead changes. The game has been tied twice, and Canada shooting 32% and New Zealand shooting close to 40%. The rebounding situation, it is 12-11 in favor of New Zealand. New Zealand came into this contest with depth. Amani Rasmussen is responsible for that. They break the 5-second violation just in time as Karis Broughton's back in the lineup. She scoops it down to Rasmussen, who's having trouble with Nani. She flings one up and can't put it down. Rebound by Emerald Nani. And it's ahead to Jordan Noor, who got her first points of the ball game late in the first. 3 balls, splish, splash, cash for Portia Reason. That is her third as she comes up with her 9th point today. We're tied at 17 here early on. Here's the pull-up, Kahura, yes! She matches her jersey number yet again as New Zealand comes up with a 20-17 lead. Team Canada and New Zealand exchanging blows from three-point land. Both of these teams shooting over 50 from downtown. Ball nearly taken by Rasmussen. Vandeven paying close attention to that. Lexi Wee gets it back to her. She pulls up long two, in and out. Jordan Noor on the rebound, and she can't cash in. Neither does Nani. She'll have to earn it with the 2 shots coming up the line. Canada shoots 70% at the foul line coming into this Group D finale. Emerald Nani will do the honors. She's from Edmonton, Alberta. Played for Royal Crown in the OSBA. A big welcome to those of you tuning in, whether if you're representing the OSBA or OSBA alumni, as the first free throw connects for Nani. She had 8 points and 6 rebounds in the win against Egypt, in which Canada won by 20. That was back on Sunday. Here's the second one, bounces way off. Ball tapped, and it will go to New Zealand. Reason doing a good job trying to keep it in bounds, but it was way beyond her reach. There are a handful of OSBA players representing Team Canada, as there are a handful of Canterbury and Tauranga players representing New Zealand in this U17. Ball stripped, and it's picked up by Reason. Reason underneath, pull up, no. Rebound, down low. Nani with 2 more shots coming up. Canada, and I mentioned they have Irapuato, Mexico on their mind because they have seen that location in 2 of the last 3 years. Last year when they were in the U16 AmeriCup, they lost to Team USA to get a silver medal in order to qualify for this year's U17s at Irapuato, Mexico. Now that place is very familiar to Canada because it was 2 years ago where the U17s emanated from that place as Nani hits the first free throw, where Canada lost to Team USA in the gold medal game. That silver medal ended up giving Canada their 2nd ever medal in U17 play, but they still have that place well in their minds, and they hope to have another podium finish in the U17s this year. Second free throw off the mark. The Euro step by Broughton leads into contact. We have somebody tuning in from the West Coast in America, from Reno, Nevada. Andrea Posada tuning in on this Tuesday evening. The first free throw is no good for Broughton. Shamar Broughton, 14 points on Sunday, 12 of them coming in the first half, and she misses both free throws. Jordan Noor, the Langley, BC native, brings the rock past the half-court line. Reason with a bounce pass inside of Van de Ven, looking for her first point, and she gets it. Ashley Van de Ven, who's played for Crestwood Prep over the last few years, along with Ava Arige, gets her first deuce. Here is Broughton outside to Taleo. Taleo skipping it outside. Here's Karras for three. She follows through, gets her own rebound, and scores. Sienna Morris too late on the assignment. And New Zealand makes them pay. They're ahead 22-21. 7:25 to go until halftime. Jordan Noor trying to spin away Taleo. Here is Wee for three. Part of Niagara Prep during OSBA play, and she has been phenomenal in the OSBA season, which concluded in March. Here's the drive. Rasmussen with the beautiful move, but could not finish. The donut missed the coffee this time around. Here's the lob underneath. Sienna Morris all the way. And we see Canada striking it rich. 5 points off of the last two trips to give them a 4-point lead. Here's Rasmussen driving through, and Van de Ven meets her at the rim, and it's too much hands, which leads to contact. Zanny, tuning in from Nelson, New Zealand, is about to see Rasmussen take 2 shots at the foul line. Listen to her stat line in the 68-56 victory against Italy. 16 points, 12 of them coming from the first half. 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 of 11 from field goal range, 6 of 7 from the line. And Rasmussen currently has 7 points and 3 rebounds. She's looking for 8 as that bounces right off the top of the iron. She's now 1 of 3 from the foul line as we're early into the second quarter. And the second one. And that goes in easily for her. She goes 1 for 2. So Rasmussen will take a break. Liam Connolly, the head coach, pleased with her efforts so far, and for someone that averages 15 and 8 per game, she is well on par for that, as she is the second leading scorer next to Arita Kahura, who's dropped 9. Behind the back dribble from Reason, she's having trouble. And now Pippa Gibb has it. She's at the wing. She has 4 to shoot. She leaves it alone. Shot is good. Sweet string music for Ashley Van de Ven. She is one of the finest stretch players in Ontario. She could shoot the ball and she could finish strong at the basket if you give her that opportunity on the transition game. Nice screen from Ainley. Doesn't work out to a lot, but Katie Moore saves it and can't get the jumper. Rebound pulled down by Villette. And lickety split to the basket is Portia Reason, who misses the layup, and Morris is tied up with Maurice. New Zealand calls for time with 5:46 to go. They were up by 3 to start the second quarter, but however, it's been a 15-6 run from Team Canada to start the second quarter, and the reason for that has been the great shooting prowess of Portia Reason, who has 9. New Zealand currently shooting 37% field goal wise. They have made 3 triples in this game so far and snagged up a total of 15 rebounds, but they are behind by 6. Canada has possession after the timeout. And now here's a lob underneath. It appears to be a foul on Katie Moores. Frances Volette got the ball from underneath the basket. New Zealand down to their last foul to give with under 6 to play until halftime. Reason goes for the reverse, high off the glass, and it goes down. For a second there, it looked like Reason was going to lose control of the ball, but she was able to balance it enough to call glass. Bank is definitely open on this Tuesday night. Canada currently has their largest lead of the game. There's Nahala Toleo, who averages 3 points per game and shoots 60%. She had 4.8 points per game in the U16 Asia Cup, and she plays for Wellington basketball. Reason to Morris, and Morris loses control of the ball. Good positioning from Amelia Ainley. Ainley with 5 rebounds has yet to score today. She picked up 6, and there's a steal by Pippa Gibb, who goes to the bucket and scores. And even though Katie Moore was right behind her, she was able to glide in and score easily. Now Canada's lead is up to double digits. New Zealand playing catch-up. The first time in quite some time here in the U17s. Here's the running shot off the mark. Rebound pulled down by Ashley Vandervin. Gibb fires away. Off the mark. Here is Sienna Maurice. 2-on-1 New Zealand. The beautiful move and the finish from Nahala Toleo. Toleo with the toe drag and the deuce. And now here's Reason. Has it back upstairs, has Broughton right on her. She'll take it. It goes out. And Ainley gets another board. That is her 6th. All of them coming off the defensive boards. Toleo, nice fake. A fantastic kick out. And the results don't end their way. The air ball with 3:50 to go. Handful of changes coming up for New Zealand. Ava Jones returning now. It is 33-25. Grace Pongang back into the lineup. Same with Avery Orije. Reason fakes more, gets close. Doesn't go. Maurice on the run and loses control. It is picked up by Volette. Ball nearly deflected by Moore. She did a great job recovering on the other end. Both teams 2-0 in Group D. This will decide who will get first place. Reason buries another one. She's in double-digit figures as she's continuing to score all around the floor. Rasmussen having trouble. And here is Katie Moore. She's been effective off the ball, and this time she gets her chance to drive. That will be the 3rd foul now on Canada. Still a 10-point game in favor of Team Canada. Rasmussen having trouble, sends it down to Ava Jones, who misses the floater. Orije brings it up. Orije, a veteran of the Crestwood Prep Lions for the last couple of years. Nice fake in the spin and the score from Emerald Nani. And the folks tuning in from Edmonton, Alberta, enjoying that beautiful finish from Nani. Here's Maurice for three. And New Zealand unable to find a bucket in the last couple of minutes. They were up by 3 to start the second, but they have been silent for the most part. Orije swings it out, 3-ball. Nani, putter there. Right in between the eyes of Amani Rasmussen. Canada breaking the 40-point mark late in the second. The shot is no good for Jones. She continues to fight hard for the ball. And it gives New Zealand another break. Look at that three from Emerald Nani. Canada known for great ball movement, averaging 19 assists per game. Goes down to Rasmussen, who's having trouble with the ball, and it will stay with them with 1:44 to go. Close to 1,000 of you tuning in on the FIBA YouTube channel for this Group D finale between New Zealand and Canada. This will decide who will play Czechia in the round of 16 tomorrow. 3 reads on the shot clock. It's out to Broughton, who lets it fly, and it's rejected, which leads into a 24-second violation. And the great closeout coming from Francis Volette, who says, voila. That's how you close out on a play. And they'll all just be a membership away, and you could pick from 3 tiers, from a rookie, starter, or MVP tier, and you could be part of the growing community today. Canada leads by 15 late in the second quarter. They've been able to take care of business, limiting New Zealand to under 10 points in the second quarter. They have outscored New Zealand 26-8 after being down 17-14 at the end of one. Orije, the team's leading scorer in the last 2 games, has yet to score much. Here's the 3-ball off the mark. Orije hasn't scored much, but there's been a lot of teamwork applied by Canada. Same with New Zealand. The drive underneath is no good for Eliadis. Heartbreak City for her. Lexi Wee back into the lineup. The St. David's native out to Orije. And Volette drives immediately, and it's snatched back by Rasmussen. She's looking to go 94-50 on the floor. Gets the Euro, fires away, no good. But New Zealand will have 2 shots with 39 seconds to play. The last field goal for New Zealand has come from Nahala Toleu at the 4:23 mark, which cut the difference to 33-25. The last time New Zealand has made a free throw was at the 6:45 mark, with Rasmussen going 1 for 2. And that was when Canada was leading 26-23. So Rasmussen looking to break a scoring spell from the last 4 minutes. And it continues for New Zealand. They've only scored 8 in this quarter after putting up 17 in the opening quarter. New Zealand took silver in last year's U16 Women's Asia Cup, their first ever gold medal game in that level. And Rasmussen breaks the nearly 4-minute scoring spell of New Zealand. Wee flings it away to Volette, who is looking for Noor, and it bounces out of bounds. A difference of about 3 seconds between the shot and game clock and the final moments in the second. Here is Karis Broughton looking for an option. Got it this time from Eliadis, who fires away and scores. Eliadis with the fake and the drive to the bucket. Down to 3. Here is Wee. Wee looking for a pass, and it's deflected immediately by Jones, and that will bring the first half to a close. Canada capitalizing on a 26-point second quarter to lead 40-28 after the first 20 minutes of action. The top scorers right now, Canada's being led by Portia Reason with 13 points, 3 triples for her. New Zealand led by the duo of Kahora and Rasmussen, who has 9 each. And we'll step aside for halftime. I'm Aaron Sanders. We'll be back in 15 minutes for the second half in this Group D finale to decide who will get first place and the right to play Czechia in the round of 16 tomorrow. From Brno, Czechia, this is the 2026 FIBA U17 Women's Basketball World Cup.
Says, give it to me. I'll go tax the closeout. Beat Bruno inside. Fills it up. kidding me? Papa Nicolau says, give it to me. Margot attacks the closeout feed. Bruno inside. Fills it up.
What do you think?
Oh my goodness, get out of here.
Attack corner Bogby and Bruno.
And then you've got this woman here, Asia.
And what a finish.
Didn't overplay it. Still human players without playing with one old man.
Because she's excited with passion.
Rebound, 6 assists.
Roberts, you gotta love it.
Buckets at the buzzer.
And these fans here in Kobe, they love it. They absolutely love seeing
Caitlin Clark gets to the passing lane, goes coast to coast for the and one opportunity.
You ain't never seen nothing like this. You ain't never seen nothing like this.
We welcome you back to Brno, Czechia for continuing coverage of the FIBA U17 Women's Basketball World Cup, the Group D finale featuring Canada and New Zealand. And right now, Canada is ahead by the score of 40-28. I'm Aaron Sanders. First off, a big thank you to Eric Z1555 for the kind words so far. The Toronto tempo has been pretty good in the WNBA, but so is Team Canada in this game as well. The top scorers right now on Team Canada's side is Portia Reason. Portia Reason currently has 13 points. Her tournament high is 14 points against Italy, so she's a free throw or a field goal away from setting a new tournament best for her. In the meantime, New Zealand's being led by the tandem of Rasmussen and Kahura. Both players ended up with a tournament high. Rasmussen with 16 points in their last game against Italy, and Kahura ended up with 12 against Italy as well. So in the last game, both of those players, they set tournament highs for them, and expect that to be broken by the end of today. because they have been effective. Same with Amelia Ainley on the defensive side of things. Ainley has yet to score, but has 6 rebounds so far, along with an assist. Team Canada shooting 43%, New Zealand shooting 33%. And the reason why Team Canada is ahead is because they outscored New Zealand 26-11 in the second quarter. And we're back into the action for the second half. New Zealand ball in the third quarter. Nice passes, which leads to stronger finishes. This time, Karis Broughton gets the deuce. There was a time in the second quarter where New Zealand was scoreless in the last 4 minutes of the half until a free throw late. Here is Reason, put her there. Splish splash cash yet again for Portia Reason. She has hit her tournament high, as she's now come up with a total of 16 points. She had 14 against Italy in the group opener, and she is continuing to capitalize on the triple as she comes up with her 4th from outside. Both of these teams playing with first place in Group D on the line and the right to play Czechia, the host team of this year's U17s. Here is Broughton. Karis Broughton out to Ainley, who dumps it down low underneath, and the air ball is collected by Avery Orije. Orije with only a field goal to her name, and that was early in the game. Reason underneath, and Nanny gets rejected. She's able to tightrope the baseline and send it down low to Frances Volette. Volette picking up her 2nd field goal after amassing 4 rebounds in the first 20 minutes of play. Ball is poked and is taken by you-know-who, Frances Volette. She's on the run and gets the finger roll. So back-to-back buckets for Volette, who says voila, as the Niagara Prep player gets a total of 4 points. It is a 17-point lead for Canada, who is looking to go back to the U17 podium after placing silver 2 years ago. Here's the jumper from Ainley. That's good. Amelia Ainley finally gets on the board after getting 6 rebounds in 20 minutes of action. New Zealand looking for first place in group play. Orije's 3 ball is a no-go. Ball is on the floor, regained by Ashley Vandeven, her Crestwood Prep teammate, and she banks it off the glass. Thank all of you for tuning in, and glad that you are as well, as we're wrapping up group play here today. The round of 16 will get underway tomorrow. Ava Jones straight to Rasmussen, who sees the ball flying out of there. An historic day in U17 play, with Australia setting the all-time assist record in a single game after their 52-point victory against the Ivory Coast. They snagged up a total of 36 rebounds. That's a U17 high of all time. And incidentally, they picked up 36 defensive boards too. Ball last touched by Frances Volette and will go the other way. Germany, Spain, Australia, USA, Japan, and Slovenia were the victors earlier today. It is halftime between Egypt and Italy. Egypt ahead 30-28 at halftime. And the officials will come together for a conference and will head to the screens for a review. And this could come down to who touched the ball last before it went out of bounds. And you see the battle with Madeline Aliadis for Team New Zealand to deflect the ball away. Again, we're early into the third quarter. Team Canada with the lead. And that angle is pretty close because it looked like it went off the fingertips of Volette too. Maybe there is another angle to have a look at it. We'll zoom in and we'll see how close it got to the fingertips of Volette. See, from there, it looks like it hit right off her finger. And if they rule it that way, it will be New Zealand ball. Frances Volette A red-hot start of the third quarter for her, picking up a couple of field goals. She has a total of 6. Madeline Eliadis averages 6 points per game, was part of the New Zealand U17 Asia Cup team a year ago that took silver in order to qualify for this year's tournament, and it will be New Zealand ball as it was off the fingertips of Volette. Eliadis doing a great job stopping the ball from getting into Volette, and now New Zealand's looking to capitalize. They went scoreless in 4 minutes of play in the second quarter, and they have to bounce back from that after taking a 17-14 lead at the end of the first. Here's the drive underneath. Shamar Broughton in the lane and will shoot 2. And Broughton is still looking for her first made free throw of the tournament. She picked up 14 points against Italy, 12 of them coming in the first 20 minutes. And today, she has been limited to a field goal. Shamar Broughton of Tauranga basketball sees her first free throw go in and out. She was part of the U16 Asia Cup as well. 9th in scoring at close to 15 points per game, and she gets her first free throw in the U17s. Canada leads 49-33 against New Zealand in Group D competition. Game day number 3 from Brno, Czechia. Here's the bounce pass to Arije. She is trapped. As she gets it back, trying to take on Eliadis as she is pushed straight into the baseline. And so Eliadis will pick up the foul. That is only the 5th personal foul on New Zealand in the ball game. Canada is responsible for 8. 5 on the timer. Here's the jumper off the mark. It's picked up. Volette swings it over to Nani, who finds Reason off the side. She's picked up 4 triples and a total of 16 points. This is her best game in the tournament by far, but that 3 wouldn't work out for her. Here's Shamar Broughton, who went 1 for 2 at the foul line in the last trip. Foai to Eliadis, who spins, who finds Ainley underneath, and she misses the 2. She gets her own rebound. She is double teamed and locates Foai. Foai down to Ainley, underneath, and the foul. And remember, the reason why New Zealand has been relentless underneath is because of the way they could use their depth and get their great rebounding underway. Remember, they scored 23 second chance points off of 20 offensive rebounds on Sunday against Italy, with Ainley making the first free throw. She now has 3 points for the day, along with 7 rebounds. Ainley is a 33% foul shooter and part of the All-Star 5 team in the Asia Cup a year ago, where she averaged a double-double, 11 points and 10.5 boards a game. Almost 800 of you watching this one as Arije pulls up for 3 and she falls flat. This has been an unusual performance for her as she's only scored 2 points. Beautiful spin move from Shamar Broughton. Great save from Eliadis. Polished fake from Foai, who was stopped in the lane. Down to 5 on the 24. Here is Maurice for 3. That's too strong, and it's off the top of the iron. Singang, and Arije's unable to keep it in. Ashley Vandeven will check back in. She replaces Emerald Nani. Nani coming out with 10 rebounds and 9 points. And that's all under 18 minutes of action. Shamar Broughton with the rock. Drives to the left side. Locates a wide open look. And Eliadis gets it to make it 49-38. Ball movement continues to work extremely well. That is the 12th assist from New Zealand today. Reason locates Follett. Follett driving in, left side, layup is good. Follett has scored 6 of her 8 points in the third quarter. Here's the drive from Rasmussen, and she counters. Rasmussen, you can't leave her alone like that when she goes wide on the sideline and finishes strong on the other side. The score is 51-40. New Zealand out on a run. It'll be Canada ball as we played more than halfway here in the third quarter. There's been 23 points scored between the two teams, and New Zealand's responsible for 12 of them. They're being led currently by Amani Rasmussen with a total of 11 points. Her tournament high is 16 points, in which she was able to accomplish on Sunday against Italy. So she is waking up at the right time halfway into the third quarter. Lexi Wee back into the lineup along with Pippa Gibb for Team Canada. Rige able to get away from Eliadis. And here is Gibb from outside. Got it. Pippa Gibb knocks it down, and that's for the folks tuning in from Raymond, Alberta, her hometown. Shamar Broughton back into the lineup. Same with Elisa Brown. Yes! Eliza Brown of the KC Cavaliers adding 3 more to make it an 11-point ball game. Ball nearly taken away, or thrown away rather. Vanderveen saves it. And it's an 8-second violation caused by the smothering, suffocating defense of New Zealand in the backcourt. And Eliadis returns to the bench. And Eliadis very busy on the floor today in her 8 minutes of play with 5 points, going 2 for 4 for the field, a plus 11 for the day. Here's the drive underneath. That's no good, and the putback will not count. That comes after the whistle. Katie Moores was the one that drew the foul. So Katie off the pick as Grace Pongang slaps her wrist. Katie Moore looking for her first points in this one, and she gets it easily. She plays in the North Harbor Basketball Association back home. Had a stat sheet which was nearly full against Italy. 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, and a bucket. And she goes 1 for 2 on the trip. It is 54-44, New Zealand with the lead. They led by 3 at the end of the first quarter, but Team Canada was on a scoring avalanche in the second quarter, and that's why they're able to lead now. Grace Pongne down low, out to Vanderveen for 3. Splish, splash, cash. Vanderveen, who was part of Team Canada in the U17 AmeriCup last year, gets 3 more, but on the other side, it's Katie Moores getting the job done, scoring 3 of the possible 4 points in the last 2 trips for New Zealand. Lexi Wee gets it to Portia Reason. A handful of OSBA players and alumni on the floor right now. Here's Pippa Gibb, misses it from Alberta. Kahura back with the rock. Rasmussen, New Zealand's leading scorer, plays it up to Taleo. Taleo, beautiful feed, no looker for Eliadis. Or should I say Moores. And New Zealand is able to trim their deficit back to single digit. Wee left side. Goes for the bounce pass for Vanderveen. And now it's out to Gibb. Gibb searches and finds Pungang, who will shoot a pair. The round of 16 schedule is almost set, with Team Japan winning. They will face the winner of the loser between Italy and Egypt. And we're taking a look at an update right now between Egypt and Italy. And they're set to begin the third quarter. Egypt leads 30-28. So the loser of that will play Japan, who ended up in first place in Group C play. Grace Pongang misses the first free throw. We know the round of 16 field is all set for Groups A and B. USA playing Mexico. Spain will play the Ivory Coast, Australia versus Germany, and China versus Latvia, with Pongang getting the free throw in to make it 58-48 in this Group D game. So the winner here will play Czechia tomorrow. The loser will most likely play Colombia. Two and 23 remaining up top to Ainley. And Toledo will have a chance with it. She is guarded by Gibb. And she throws it out of bounds as she was looking for Karis Broughton. By the way, there are more Canadian fans tuning in, along with Ollie and Coco tuning in from Kingsville, which is about an hour away from Windsor, Ontario. And they've been watching every game that I've called, so appreciate both of you for tuning in. Here's a drive underneath as Ainley holds her ground. New Zealand on a run. And it's slowed down with Taleo keeping it around as she gets away from Reason. Kahura outside, three ball, Broughton, good! Karis connects as New Zealand breaks the 50-point mark. Wee having trouble and finds Gibb. And it's thrown away easily. New Zealand stepping up in a huge way, and you have to credit Amelia Ainley for getting them back into the ball game like this. The last play was a three from Karis Broughton, who averages 9 points per game. And a big how do you do from Juan Dela Cruz, who's tuning in from Ontario. Broughton, great ball movement. Ainley unable to finish it, but Ava Jones does. Ava Jones and New Zealand on a run, looking to make up for a collapse in the second quarter. Vanderveen tries another three, corner pocket, Shazam! And Canada able to bounce back after giving up a couple of shots. That is their first field goal made since the 3:41 mark. Down to the final minute of the third quarter. Kahura was looking for Karis Broughton, and it's last slapped by Wee. It's been a 9-3 New Zealand run in the last 2 minutes and 25 seconds. They are outscoring Canada 25-21 in this quarter. Kahura can't match her jersey number. Volette getting another rebound. That is her fifth. The bullet pass to Francis. Triple threat move and a spin move from Nani, who goes to town and scores over Ainley, which is not an easy task. All muscle, all heart, Emerald Nani. Here's the bonus Upcoming for Nanny, and she gets it in. This has been a very, very interesting quarter between these two teams. New Zealand went out on a run. Canada still holding the lead, and there's a 6-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Broughton, no screen from Ainley this time. As she searches for her, she gets the rock, and it's brought in. Ainley. Ainley ain't scared, no doubt about it. Follett driving to the hole. In and out. And that will do it for the third. Buckle up, my friends. We're in for a tough fourth quarter with the first place in Group D on the line. The winner will play Czechia. And the loser will most likely play against Colombia. 10 more minutes of basketball here to go in Group D competition. We'll have the fourth right after you watch this. It's Canada with the lead, but it's New Zealand that outscored them 25-21 in the third quarter of action. Leading scorers so far, Portia Reason off of 4 triples, a total of 16 points. Ashley Vandeven right behind her with 13 points. She woke up in the third quarter, and between those two players, they have scored a combined total of 29 points for Team Canada. New Zealand currently being led by Amani Rasmussen, who has 11. But one of the players to watch as we approach this fourth quarter will be Amelia Ainley, who's picked up 7 rebounds and 6 points, and she has been a force to be reckoned with down low as we are set to begin the fourth quarter. Here's a quick three. Portia Reason makes it 5 triples to make it 67-65. Reason on fire. Great pick from Ainley. Big three from Karras, off the mark. Lexi Wee with a baseball pass, and it's finished off by Emerald Nanny. Great ball movement from Canada. That's 5 points in the first 30 seconds of play, which warrants a timeout from Liam Connolly and company. 69-55. Fast start for Team Canada, and New Zealand has to find some way to come back.
What do you think?
Oh my goodness, get out of here.
Attack corner Baki and Bruno.
And then you've got this woman here, Asia.
And what a finish.
Didn't overplay it. Still unique players without playing one-on-one.
Because she's excited with passion.
6 rebounds, 6 assists.
Roberts, you gotta love it.
Buckets at the buzzer.
And these fans here in Kobe, they love it. They absolutely love seeing.
Team Canada starting the fourth quarter out on a rampage. A 3 from Reason and a layup from Emerald Nanny. slowed New Zealand down. They're looking to thaw off a cold scoring start as Rasmussen drives into the basket. And Emerald Nani picks up the foul. Emerald now with her second foul, and that gets 2 free throws for Rasmussen, the leading scorer for New Zealand, who is 3 for 6 at the stripe today. And the first one bounces out of there. Rasmussen for the tournament shoots 73% at the line. She has 11 points today. Her tournament high 16 points, which she got in the last game against Italy, and she makes it 12 for the day. Lexi Wee still in the lineup for Team Canada. Van de Ven catch and shoot 3, short. Rebound attempted by Nani, and she was smothered, but it will stay Canada way as we approach the 9-minute mark in the fourth. In the first quarter, New Zealand led 17-14. Then Canada scored 26 points to get the lead at halftime, and then New Zealand scored 27 in the third quarter. The running teardrop from Reason doesn't go. Rasmussen gets enough separation, and it can't bounce in. Lexi Wee on the rebound, who goes coast to coast for Volette as she hits the deck and scoops it again to Wee. Wee, and it's taken by Eliadis. Eliadis, the only one there for New Zealand, gathers herself and scores. Madeline Eliadis, who plays in the NBL 1 for the Melbourne Tigers, is on the move to complete a 3-point play. So the Melbourne Tiger product shoots 83% at the line while scooping up 6 points and 3 rebounds per game. She scooped up 5 a game a year ago in the U16 Asia Cup, in which New Zealand captured silver in order to be here in the U17s. Canada placed silver in the U16 America Cup a year ago, losing to the United States, the same team they lost to in the gold medal game in the U17s 2 years ago, and in the same location too, Irapuato, Mexico. They're looking for their second straight podium finish for a 3rd overall. Here is Arije, only 2 points for her. Sails it back over up top, and the rebound's pulled down by Nani. Screen from Nani. The jumper from Reason, not pure this time. She's hit 5 triples in this game. Here's Eliadis. Goes wide, here's the fake out, Broughton. Locates Ava Jones. And that'll be the 3rd team foul for Canada in the 4th. And this time the foul is on Reason. 7:43 to go in regulation. And Jones will sit out. Reason picked up her 3rd personal. And here is Shamar Broughton playing hot potato with Ainley, but she can't bury the 3. Arije getting the rebound. That is her 3rd of the day, with only 2 points after leading Team Canada in points per game in the first 2 contests. Arije Euro steps and misses. Eliza Brown slowing it down. And gets it back. She's having trouble with Arije, and she searches Ainley, who scores. The spin and the score. 69-61, New Zealand on a little bit of a surge. They go downstairs for Van de Ven, and it's taken away. And a smart play from New Zealand. They're on the run. The finger roll off the mark. By the way, that was a fantastic tightrope play from Katie Moores to keep it in. Here's Ainley. goes 2 for 2. I mentioned at the top of the quarter, you have to pay attention to Amelia Ainley because she could make you pay inside. For someone that averages 9 rebounds and 5 points per game, she now has a total of 10 points and 8 rebounds in this New Zealand comeback, as the difference is now 2 buckets. Ainley's making Canada pay with her 10 points, and New Zealand's outscoring Canada 8-5 to begin the fourth quarter. After giving up the first 5 points, New Zealand has responded on an 8-0 run led by Ainley. And there's the head coaching group of Canada, Jessica Rock, the head coach of the Waterloo Warriors of the OUA. Robin Fleckenstein's her assistant coach from Canada West Mount Royals. And the assistant coach for the Toronto Varsity Blues, Holly Burns, leads up the coaching squad. Here's a 3. Shazam! Frances Vaulette calling it from the parking lot as she picks up her 11th point and her first triple of the day. Ainley got it! Ainley ain't playing no more. That is her 12th point and her 6th point in the fourth quarter, as she is coming alive when New Zealand needs her the most. Amelia at the foul line. She's made her first 2 in a row. She's looking for a triple, and she gets it. Still a 2-possession game with 6:06 remaining on the clock. Orije, rough scoring performance for her today, only 2. Sends it to Pippa Gibb, the 3. Way off. And it was last touched by Karis Broughton, and she can't believe it. Rasmussen and Maurice returning. Between those two, they're responsible for 7 rebounds. Rasmussen with 12. Underneath, rejected. And it's going to go back to New Zealand. Quick inbound play, and Katie Moores is able to come up with a rejection. Moores with her first. Amelia Ainley dominating on both ends of the floor. 4 blocks. She is now 2 rebounds away from a double-double. This is her best game of the tournament by far. Jamar Broughton putting the moves on Noor. Spins away. Nearly saved by Moores, but can't keep it in this time. A lot of Liam Connolly fans, the head coach of New Zealand, in the chat today. Orije driving through and banks it in. That is her first bucket since the first minute in the game. And she has struggled since then. Here's the fake out from Eliza Brown. Katie Moores is open in case she needs it. Great spin move off of the screen from Rasmussen. A 3-ball doesn't go. Double team leads into a tie-up. And it will stay with New Zealand. First place in Group D on the line. Both teams 2-0. Canada has the margin of 35 points. New Zealand 26. And New Zealand is behind by 8 as we played more than 5 minutes in the fourth quarter. And they're coming back because of this terrific player, Amelia Ainley, who has that rejected by Van de Ven. Lexi Wee trying to blitz through the lane. Noor out to Wee, a 3, off the mark. Oh, and Ainley could not control it. Heartbreak city for her, because most of New Zealand's players were already back on the other side. They'll have to go back and get a huge defensive stop. Portia Reason, the leading scorer for Team Canada, nearly stepped out of bounds. Noor finds Van de Ven again. This time Ava Jones scoops the rebound. Team Canada has led since the start of the second quarter, went on a 26-point outburst in that quarter to give them the lead now. The triple is good for Sienna Maurice. And New Zealand is sizzling right now. Van de Ven can't answer back. And gets her own rebound as she hits the deck, and it's snatched back. No backcourt violation, they play on. Give and go play. Ava Jones will shoot 2. A lot of calamity near the half-court line, but it's New Zealand to capitalize. Look at this, a 4-on-1 break with Jordan Noor the only one back for Team Canada. Ava Jones stepping up, 1 for 4 today overall. Only 2 points, and she misses her first free throw. Amelia Ainley is now the top scorer for New Zealand with 13 points, and she scored a bundle of them in the fourth. Jones goes 1 for 2. The Canterbury basketball player making it 74-70. Wee searches Van de Ven, who locates Reason, who goes down to Wee, who finds Noor for 3. That falls short. Rebound by Volette. Volette to the hole. And she's fouled. Follett getting the first free throw. 5-point game. Total of 12 points for the day. This is her first trip at the line. And she makes it rain. 13 points and 8 rebounds for her. As it remains a 2-possession game. Eliadis with a touch pass to Maurice. Maurice getting help from Ainley. The shot clock reads 8. Rasmussen out to Ainley. Ainley fires away. There's a whistle with 3:06 remaining, which could lead to more shots coming up for New Zealand. New Zealand, who came into the U17s ranked 20th in the FIBA World Rankings, making this a close game against Team Canada, 3rd in the world rankings. And a tight Group D competition. Ainley's first free throw bounces off the iron. In the last 2 quarters, New Zealand has outscored Canada 42-36. And that difference is what the score looks like right now. A 6-point game, and Van de Ven try to save it out of bounds. It will stay with New Zealand. 14 on the shot clock. It goes right out to the corner. 3 ball off the mark for Jones. A putback is good. Amani Rasmussen. And the New Zealanders taking up the chant of defense in the background. Wee on the pull-up from the elbow. Off the mark. Rasmussen gets the rebound. New Zealand looking to cut it to 2 or 1 if they score. Wee almost took it away. New Zealand out on a rampage here in the 4th quarter. They have not given Canada a field goal since the 5:17 mark in which Avery Orije scored that one. Had an 8-0 run to start the 4th quarter. And now they're a couple of buckets away from tying this up. Maurice fakes the 3, gets close, steps in, doesn't get it. Pongang the rebound. Pongang loses the dribble, gets it back. Fantastic save. 8 on the 24. Here's Reason, a 3. Almost had it, but Pongang can't put it up, but she does the 3rd time. Grace Pongang taking in all the work today. Rasmussen rejected. And here comes Canada the other way. Reason up and under, got it. Portia Reason continuing to heat it up for the Maple Leaf. Circus shot doesn't go, but a late whistle. And so far, one of the major chances that New Zealand has getting back to this ball game would be drawing the fouls and going to the foul line. Canada is out of fouls to give. New Zealand has 2 to give. But New Zealand, they have not fared well at the line today. 11 to 22 for a total of 50. They averaged 57 in the first 2 games. And Eliadis gets the twine on the first. Compare that to Canada, they've only had 9 free throws while making 6. Halfway in the first quarter, Canada was over the foul limit. Here they are with 1:38 to go. New Zealand can use it if they need it. Pongang gets the rebound. And that's one of the fouls to give from New Zealand. Foul from Sienna Maurice. 1:35 to go. New Zealand has 1 more to give. Canada will have to play carefully back on the other side for the next 1:35 if they want to hold on. New Zealand, they have ran a handful of scoring runs throughout this game. They are within 7. 1-3-1 set up by New Zealand. With Ainley holding it down. Wee spins. Reason for 3. Put her there! A huge triple from Reason as they make it 83 to 73. And an offensive foul coming from Amani Rasmussen. Lexi Wee taking the brunt of it. It's Lexi Wee taking a ride off of the elbow, but she's able to draw the charge, and back the other way Team Canada goes. New Zealand will talk it over with 1:04 to go. They're seeing this contest slipping away. They're only down by 10, and we'll see if they can make a game of it down by 10. Canada leads 83-73 as we approach the final minute in regulation. First place is on the line in Group D play between these two teams, and this game has shown why these two started the tournament 2-0. Canada playing keep away. Volette, lots of trouble. Reason dumps it down. 2 passes later, it goes underneath the Nanny. Nanny spins around. Volette, a 3. No. New Zealand rushing it with not a lot of time left. Ainley sends it over to Jones. She'll try a 3. That's an air ball. Picked up by Nanny. Team Canada, they were down by 3 at the end of the first quarter, but they have turned this game around since then. On New Zealand's case, they kept it a close game, but Canada kept pulling away at it thanks to Portia Reason, knocking down 5 threes and has a total of 21 points. She knocked down the triple with 1 minute and 16 seconds to go to get Canada closer to a first-place finish and a battle against Czechia tomorrow in the round of 16. Lexi Wee getting the first free throw. Had an outstanding season for Niagara Prep in the OSBA this season, and she goes 2 for 2 with under 20 seconds to go. It is now a 12-point game in New Zealand. Group D competition coming down to this with 19.9 seconds to go. And this has been a good one if you're just tuning in for the first time. Here is Ava Jones straight away, takes a 3 and gets it. 9-point game with 15 seconds to go. New Zealand has to foul here, but nope, they cause trouble down to the backcourt. Sienna Maurice has given New Zealand another possession. But the question is it too little, too late? They are down by 9 with 13 seconds to go. And it's Maurice to throw it in. Maurice finds Ainley. Fantastic, and a snatch by Reason. Canada was down 17-14 at the end of the first quarter, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish. The Maple Leaf gets first place in the Group D competition. But it wasn't easy. Team Canada will face Czechia in the round of 16, which begins tomorrow. New Zealand will play Colombia. And on the other Group D game, Italy leads Egypt by 10, and if that score holds on, it will be Italy taking on Slovenia and Egypt against Japan tomorrow. Here are the round of 16 games we know that is for sure. USA versus Mexico, Australia versus Germany, Latvia versus China, and Spain against the Ivory Coast. Points and 8 rebounds. Emerald Nani with a double-double of 14 and 12. And in the loss, Amani Rasmussen had 14 points and 7 rebounds. But give credit to Amelia Ainley, who had a strong second quarter. She ended up with 13 points and 8 rebounds. And in the second half, despite the loss, it was New Zealand outscoring Canada by the count of 48-45. But the victors today is Team Canada, 85-76. They claim first place in Group D competition. It's been great giving you the action here today. I will talk to you again in the quarterfinals on Friday. A big thank you for all of you that tuned in, representing New Zealand and Canada. And for those of you tuned into the round of the world, we enjoy the pleasure of your company and hope you're able to continue that in the round of 16 tomorrow here from Brno, Czechia. Again, Team Canada gets first place in Group D with a final score of 85-76 after defeating New Zealand. Thank you to Coco and Ollie tuning in from Kingsville. Thank you for the folks behind the scenes who helped make this FIBA broadcast possible. And thanks to all of you who have tuned in on the FIBA YouTube channel. Remember, there are plenty of good sports out there, so you be one too. Until the quarterfinals on Friday, or in the round of 16 tomorrow, for all the commentators and everyone involved, this be Aaron Sanders saying you've been watching group play coverage of the 2026 FIBA U17 Women's Basketball World Cup. I'll talk to you on Friday in the quarterfinals, but until then, it is so long here on the FIBA YouTube channel.